95% of flippers are pricing their cars wrong, which leads to them selling cars too cheap or not selling them at all. But after I've been flipping cars for 6 years, I figured out the best pricing strategy to get the most money for my cars without missing out on any profit. To get the highest price for your car, all you do is price it for an insanely high price. But that's not gonna work because you're never gonna end up selling it, and if it does, it's gonna take months to sell. That's why I don't look at maximizing the profit, but I look at the time it takes to sell it. When flipping cars, you're gonna need to get rid of one to buy another, so it's best to get rid of them as fast as possible. The goal is to have your car sell within a few days to a week at most. This means pricing your cars right so you get the most money for it without it sitting for weeks, but not too cheap to where it sells instantly and you miss out on free money. Here's what pricing your cars for a high price is gonna do. The good thing about this is that you're gonna make hundreds, sometimes even thousands more in profit. The other good is nothing. Here's the bad about it. You're gonna get less messages and buyers since they'd rather buy a cheaper car. If they do message you, after you respond, most of the time they're gonna end up never responding back because they might have found a cheaper car or realized that your car is just priced too high, and then they just waste your time. Going this way is going to take weeks, even months to sell cars. And if someone does end up showing up in person, they're going to be picky and look at every little flaw, expecting it to be perfect. And they're likely going to negotiate as well since it's overpriced. Normally, when selling a car, you can use tricks to get them to come buy the car quicker, like telling them about all the interested buyers and who might buy it before them. But when your cars are overpriced, you can't do this. I know some people who've done this and have been able to make it work, but they end up having anywhere from 5 to 20 cars all sitting in a lot just waiting to sell. And when a buyer comes once a month, they're gonna make like 50% more profit than if it was priced right and sold right away. But while they're waiting for buyers, they've got nothing to do, and they would have just made more money if they flipped more cars instead of trying to squeeze out every last dollar from each car. I've done this, but usually only with personal cars. I just price it really high and leave it listed for months. This is because I'm in no rush to sell it because it's my car and I'm driving it around. But if someone wants to spend a whole bunch of money for it and overpay, I'll sell it, make a ton of money on them, and then just buy a new car. Now, if you think your car's priced right, but it's still taking weeks or months to sell, simply it's priced too high, even if you don't think it is. Because if it's not selling, it's clearly not priced right. If it was, it would be sold by now. To sell it in the time you want, there's two things you can do. Simply lower the price by $500 or $1,000, and if it's still not selling, just keep lowering it until it sells. The second is to keep reposting the listing over and over again. The more often, the better. I'll repost my cars every single day. That means deleting the listing, making a new one with the same listing description and pictures. And if you aren't like in a super rush to sell it, still don't wait any longer than 3 days to repost a car. After that, the car's gonna hardly sell and it's gonna make people wonder why it's been listed for a week and hasn't sold. They think it might be priced too high or might have problems that caused other people not to buy it. And I don't only do this when my car isn't selling, I do it on every car I sell. It's a must to get the most interested people in it, and it's gonna put your listing at the top so all the people will feel like they need to be quick before it sells, and so they have to buy it right now. So the logical thing to do is lower your price. But if you lower it too much, you're gonna be missing out on a lot of money. So let's talk about pricing your cars low. There's a lot of good reasons to price your car for less than it's worth and make less profit, although it seems like there might not be. First is you're gonna be able to sell any car in literally a day if it's priced right. They'll come buy it sooner because they know if they don't buy it soon, it's gonna sell right away. Meaning you can buy and sell a lot more cars a lot quicker. This makes it so you can flip more cars, but your profit's gonna be a little lower. However, if you're flipping more cars, you can make more money than if you were to take longer to do it. Next, the people buying your super cheap, good deal cars are going to be less likely to negotiate because they know this is already an insane deal, and if they don't buy it, someone else will. But there's some bad that comes along with it. You're going to get a lot more messages, and most of them aren't even going to respond back. And of course, you're going to make less profit, which is kind of the most important part of flipping. Selling cars for cheap has never been the way I make my money, and shouldn't be how you do it either. It's too hard to keep up, and you'll end up working hard on cars that barely make any profit. To make good money, you'll need to be flipping up to 10 cars every month. But let's say you think your car is priced at a good price, but you're getting dozens of messages and it seems like it's gonna sell in a day right when you listed it. Getting all these messages means your car's priced too low. So you can do two things. You could sell it, or you can repost the listing at a higher price. It seems like the right thing to do is repost it and just sell it for more. but it doesn't always work out like that. What I'll normally do is I just end up selling it, even if I could have increased the price and probably got more for it. A lot of the times I've done exactly that. Sometimes it'll work, but then other times I end up sitting on it for literal weeks. So then after waiting weeks, I'll finally lower the price down back to what it was originally posted at. At this price, it might sell, but you've just wasted weeks for no reason. Or sometimes it won't even sell at this price, and you're gonna have to lower it lower than you originally posted it for and had a lot of buyers. It's horrible when this happens. It feels bad. You know you're losing money. You just wasted extra time. And you just have to lose out on money, write it off as a quick flip, and move on. And then on your next car, try to price it at a more reasonable price to sell without it being too cheap. It sounds wrong, but the first buyers can be some of the only buyers on the car, and taking a little less profit can be worth it because you might not get another buyer. That's what pricing your cars like way too high or too low does, but the best price is just right. Not directly priced at what the car's worth, but slightly less, or the exact same price, but yours is in better condition than other similar cars. Like if your car's going for an average of $5,000, you might make yours slightly better condition, better description, and nicer photos, and price your car the same. Since both of the cars are practically the same car, people are always going to go with yours since it looks like a better deal, and it is a better deal. And being open to a few $100s in negotiation is going to allow you to sell the car quicker. The buyer's going to feel like they're getting a deal since they negotiated the price down a bit, and you don't lose out on much money. So I'll always price the cars a few $100s extra in case they negotiate with me. Then if they don't negotiate, I make a bit extra. But of course, even if they try to negotiate, try to stay as firm as you can on the price. I've heard countless people say to price your cars, or literally anything you're selling, for a high price and let people negotiate you down to what it's worth. So they feel like they got a good deal, you got what you originally wanted for it, but they're all wrong. Doing that is just going to get you less interested people since many of them are just going to scroll right past your overpriced listing. Instead, if you price your car competitively with other cars, you're going to get tons of messages and potential buyers. Some of them are going to want to negotiate, of course, and some of them will be ready to buy it at full price. So just sell it to the people willing to buy it at full price. It's better to price it right and not negotiate much. This is going to make your cars sell for the same price, but a lot faster, and isn't really the obvious thing that most people do. But how do you find out what your car's worth and decide what the exact price you should list it for? Before doing anything, you need to figure out the price you'll list your car at. Forget how much you spent on the car, or all the time you put into it, or the money. All that matters is the current value of the car. To find the car's value, first take down all the information about it. Let's say it's a 2010 Honda Accord with 100,000 miles and it's in good condition. I'll go over to Facebook and Craigslist and search for Honda Accords. I'll look for ones that look similar to mine. In this case, it was made from 2008 to 2012, so I'll only look at ones that were made in those years. Then I check out the prices of them and compare them with my car. Let's say the average car is priced around $5,000. Some are going to be going for $4,000 with a few problems, and others are going to be going for $6,000. I'll ignore the $6,000 ones since they're just priced too high and aren't going to sell for that much. And then I'll use the $4,000 to $5,000 ones as the car's value. So to price my car, I'll list it around $4,500. This way you're right around the middle price, but as long as your listing looks better and your car's in better condition, all the people looking at the other listings would rather buy your car, and they're going to buy it quick. If you want your car to be more likely to sell and have a buyer trust you more, you can include a Carfax as well, so they can see the history of the car and know you're not trying to hide anything. If you want a free Carfax, it's linked in the description. We've talked about how pricing your cars right is going to make you more money across flips, but an even bigger issue flippers are having is ruining their profits. So check out this video to learn how you can make more money flipping cars. And as always, I'm wishing you a lucky day.